These are some new and upcoming stars visiting from this first week of March at Alabama. Caleb Cunningham, year 25. He's a 5-star wide receiver. Duke Johnson, a top 50 athlete, 4-star guy. And, of course, the Womack kid, class of 26, 4-star. He's a corner. And one of your top 100 quarterbacks is Halayman Casuga, Cascuga, class 26. And, of course, Juju Lewis will be visiting this week. He's, of course, our loyal, faithful Jeff Anderson around that way, quarterback.
I bet my left arm that Juju don't go to USC.
I just don't see it personally. I don't.
I don't think so.
This is
I don't.
2024 SEC football. The odds to win the SEC. You can see here plus 185, Georgia, Texas plus 300, Ole Miss plus 650, Alabama plus 950, LSU at number 5 plus 950. And then the list goes on. Favored to win the SEC from 6 through 16 teams now, Dean, since we have Texas and Oklahoma.
Who's last, Andy?
Tennessee, Missouri, A&M, Oklahoma, Auburn at 10. Rounded out. Kentucky right outside the top 10. South Carolina, Florida, Arkansas, Mississippi State, and poor Vanderbilt.
Who's going to be the team on there that makes fools out of them? I'm talking about not does good, doesn't do good, or does great. There'll be somebody. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe Kentucky.
I'm going to say Tennessee.
You don't think they'll do well?
I think they're going to do better than they think.
Oh, yeah. Well, they got them 6.
Yeah.
I would buy that. I think Tennessee, maybe Kentucky.
I'm going to say
South Carolina's probably not going to be bad.
Don't get too hyped up. I can't call it now. It's too early. But I know what Texas did last year. You know where I'm going with this. Let's just be easy right now.
Yeah.
They're coming to a new conference. Sark does know the conference. He did coach here as an assistant. But, you're picking these guys to them or Georgia. Right now, pretty much what they're saying is Georgia will play Texas for the SEC championship because it's not East and West.
Texas lost a lot of firepower. Guys, they lost 2,500 yards receiving.
Now, they added IB, and they think that's great. He was a second
team. But I
don't
think he's as good as Mitchell and that Worthy. I'm sorry, I just don't.
How could he be? Why would somebody think that he is? He's a second-team All-American. He wanted All-American money, and the boosters at Bama said, well, you're not an All-American.
I may be completely wrong, and I don't think the Black's as good as that Sanders that played there last year.
I don't either. And we're Bama fans, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. No, I think those guys at Texas are better.
Yes. I mean, they're talking about Mitchell going high. A.D. Mitchell going high in the draft. And I'm sure Worthy, they could have came back. That's the only reason Bond and them left.
Yeah.
They wanted to play for Ewers, I guess. I mean, nothing against Milroe. Ewers probably does throw better than Milroe. They throw more.
Well, and, so how Manning's going to be. Now, this one was interesting. The new quarterback's coming in. Bryce Underwood, LSU, we talked about him last year. He was going to be a big take on as quarterback. We talked about him last week. Now, this George, McIntyre, McIntyre.
Spell that again.
These names? Where are these people from?
Where to spell that one more
Where's he from? Poland?
Let me see.
McIntyre.
McIntyre?
There you
McIntyre.
go. McIntyre.
I don't know.
Polish.
Irish.
He's supposed to be headed to Tennessee. And then Ohio State, of course, got the St. Clair kid. And Juju Lewis, we just talked about him, headed to USC. Maybe. I don't think he is. He may be a lock for Bama.
I don't think he is.
And the one we talked about earlier, I think Juju and Knight is supposed to be – he's the 8th overall quarterback at Notre Dame. He's supposed to be going to Notre Dame.
I'm looking at something here.
I've been told by people that follow Alabama close that Knight is not a lock for Notre Dame, that he has connections with DeBoer.
DeBoer?
He has connections with him, okay, and their new coach.
What do you
and then the last one there is, of course, the Russell kid that's supposed to be going to SMU.
Well, that's the thing.
I don't know much about him.
Well, here's the thing. Now you hear about kids. Well, they're going to Oklahoma, but it's doubtful, and they may be going to Nebraska.
Here's some breaking news.
Don't make any sense.
This was earlier today. Georgia offensive lineman Chad
Lindbergh
has entered the transfer portal. former top ranked 200 pick. Played
Wow.
12 games this past season, leaving Georgia. And there it is, Dean. 81-74. He's holding it in the sky. Make sure you see him. Tennessee has got a good team, and that's the kid I talked about earlier. The Antonio Coleman flipping from Auburn, coming to Alabama. These are some local Warriors. I went by there the weight room the other day.
Uh-huh.
There's no days off at Cherokee County.
Yeah.
The football team.
Uh-huh.
They're lifting weights.
Hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Music bumping.
Surely everybody started back now.
They are jumping.
Yeah.
Music is thumping. Coach Kelly's hitting the whistle. They are jumping benches in there. They are squatting 600 pounds. There's definitely no lack of try.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Coach Kelly is and Bunch. They're going to give it a good shot again this year.
They got Diamond back, right?
Yep. And boy, he looks good too.
Hey, Diamond.
Very mature kids. Tristan Brown.
Oh, they got Tristan back too?
Yeah. Dude, he was benching like, he's gonna do like 400 pounds. It's like band squatting like 600 with the rubber bands on it.
I think I knew he had
Like
one more
twice.
year. They've got one more year, right?
Yeah. And Harbor, Caleb, and all that
Oh,
group.
yeah, he's
Landon,
back. Wow.
Chestnut, they're getting big.
Landon.
Yeah.
Ransom?
Yeah.
He's got another year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
my
see,
God.
that's the junior class.
I did not know he had another
That
year.
was that last bunch of Derek's bunch. See, that they had about 2 or 3 different ages there, just a year apart, that played together. See,
So they'll be pretty good now.
yeah,
I mean, I'm just saying I didn't realize they had that many returners.
the line's going to be a little different, but it's not going to be from lack of anything. So, News 5-star plus, 5-star plus. Now that means plus. Offense tackle, the Sanders kid is narrowed his schools down to Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, South Carolina, Tennessee. The NCAA is pausing. This is news now.
Nico coming to Bama. No, never mind.
Now this was the other day, but this is something definitely. I kind of had forgot about this. It is huge news, and we'll close this off here. That right there in itself, Dean.
Uh-huh.
You know about Tennessee and what's going on in NCAA. I think most people do.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows what's going on. And we'll talk about some Bama coaches. He's got his staff locked in, and then we'll do some college basketball.
Oh, no, I'm not rushing you on that.
Virginia and Tennessee. NCAA is, we talked about moving the goalpost. NCAA is a joke, blah, 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 whatever.
Uh-huh. Right.
Well, as reported of yesterday, they are pausing the investigation.
Oh.
So that right there tells me the NCAA is like, well, we have really backed ourselves in a
They're
corner
not
here,
going to do
Jim.
nothing.
Well, they don't have nothing.
Right. There's something in my, sorry, man. I got
A hair hanging
yeah,
on
but
you.
it's hanging right over my eyelash. All right.
But that's news. Listen, that in itself. Let me play some Nostradamus here.
All right.
Usually it's Dean Adamus. He sets out the crystal ball for college basketball and football picks here. Let me tell you what college football is fixing to happen.
All right.
NCAA is fixing to go away, and Sankey and Patini from the Big Ten,
Uh-huh.
they've already met,
Right.
and that's probably why they met. You're fixing to see some other league to where the NCAA is going to wind up going away, and they're not going to have anything to do with football.
There's not going to be an NCAA.
Not for football. They will be for other sports.
I don't doubt that. I mean, I really don't.
Well, look what they're doing. There's no clue about what's going on. This is news that we're talking about happened yesterday, day before. NCAA pausing their investigation on this NIL crap, that you can't do this and you can't do that after Tennessee had done these, whatever.
Right.
They were in the rules, and then they changed the rules. NCAA did. Then they said, well, you broke the rules back in January, last year.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
didn't
can't-
like that anyway.
can't
I mean,
do that.
you're going to really do that's like firing one person for one thing and leaving somebody in place that does the same thing.
So there's going to be a lot of big changes. Speaking of big changes, have you heard already? Check out Pate State. He'll be on probably here in the next 20 minutes. We'll be off here and we'll go watch him. He's the guy.
He is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any better.
CBS, 24/7 Sports, Josh Pate,
Wouldn't you think so?
Late Kick Show. We've been watching him before he was on 24/7 Sports.
Who could be better?
I don't know. I'm serious. If you want full time coverage, he's on year round. We are too. He goes on. He's on 3 days a week. He's on like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, or something. And he had a special coach thing he did with Kirby.
He just tells the facts and never offends anybody. He's not very offensive.
Not really. No, some people try to make him be because they try to see what kind of fan he is. They won't know who he's a fan of, and he won't never.
But I don't.
say.
You know, there are a lot of people. It's his delivery. He's just not. Even when he talks bad about a team, it's not. They're going to struggle this year. You know, it's not real. It don't. You're not sitting there mad. And it's not like Skip. Well, Kansas City's terrible.
That's 6-6, but the best they'd ever think they could do.
Yeah. See, he don't say anything.
Smart
like
aleck
that.
about it.
No.
Well, he's let us know that because there's not this 12-team playoff is going to go this year, next year for sure. But what we do know is there's not a 26 lock. Media companies, ESPN, Fox, wants to know, well, what are we going to do in 26? Because we want to lay out they're wanting to lay out a media plan for college football. They want to do like a 5-year deal.
Right.
Because they can have it in writing. We can work it out and stop coming back to this every 2 years. So guess what they are? And I mentioned this last week and you was upset about it. It's up there again.
I know.
14 teams.
I saw it.
What are we doing?
Man, what 14. Would that even? I saw it. I was very.
So what?
You're right. It did bother me. I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Now I've just about figured out how
you got to be kidding.
Me and Burge did it last year. How they're going to do, and we talked about it more last week. Like number 5, would play 12, and 12 would be an at-large team, and the highest ranked 4 highest ranked conferences would have buys. Now, that don't mean, and me and Burge talked about it, we kind of assume that the top 4 will be the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. Okay. Right. We assume that's how. Well, let's just say for giggles, let's say they're picking Georgia and Texas play for the SEC title. That's what they're saying, sort of. Well, let's say Georgia loses a game and Georgia and Texas play each other during the season, right? Yeah.
Right.
And then say Texas loses a game to Georgia then. So then they're 1 loss. Georgia's undefeated. Well, then Texas blows one later to A&M.
Right.
And we'll say Bama did about what we thought they'd do. They're going to lose to Georgia and LSU, but maybe they beat Texas, but they don't play Texas this year.
Right.
So whoever's going to be ranked higher would come into this and be the highest 2 ranked. Georgia plays Texas for the SEC. And Texas upsets Georgia in a rematch for the SEC.
Right.
Now, they were ranked 7. Now they beat Georgia, and Georgia, say, was 1 or 2. That don't mean they're going to jump up that high. Maybe they move them to 5.
Right.
So a team that's maybe 4 don't win their conference, and they come down. So the highest ranked conference team at that time would be, we're just saying for just making up stuff. Say Texas sticks at 5 toward the end of the year, and they beat Georgia on a rematch.
Right.
Well, number 5 then is the highest ranked SEC team. They're 5th. So you're going to see a poll for Texas to be 5 in the rankings. But when we're going to make out this playoff, well, they're just going to be the highest ranked SEC team. So they're going to be in your bracket. So they're going to get a bye. Well, then the team at 3 has lost some games, and they're not, because they're not going to be a conference champ. If this is how that happens, it may not pour out exactly that way. So what I'm saying is there's going to be some lower. It's going to be weird this year, guys. I don't think y'all really – a lot of people are not really clear on what's fixing to happen.
I don't understand. I'll be honest with you. I'm very confused. I'm happy, but I'm also confused.
There's some higher-ranked teams that are not going to get buys. That's what I'm telling you.
So they're going to have to play 3 games to win this championship.
Yeah, 4.
See, 4. See, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is my suggestion, which I know it won't be taken.
Notre Dame will never get a bye because they don't have a conference championship.
I think you throw all that stuff out, go back to the BCS, take the top 6, 1 and 2 get a bye, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5.
And you know what? I'll give you even a simpler one.
I don't think top 8 ought to go. 7 and 8, more than likely. I'm gonna go on and bet anybody here 7 and 8 don't win this thing any.
Never. They never will. That's not going to happen. We're wasting people's time.
Now basketball's a little different.
Yes.
But that don't even happen much.
No, but stop making football basketball.
Right.
Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's
don't
what it's going to turn into. It's going to be a 34 team
Yes, it's going to be terrible.
last all year,
Now, that's another thing. They're going to have to push another week for playoffs.
which will
now,
push basketball another week.
yeah. So that's why they went ahead and moved it this year, because they're getting ready for next year. It's going to be moved. So 25. So we're just going to anticipate that the championship is going to be in April this year, and 24 and 25. So it's coming.
Later in April.
Well, it could stay the same now because they moved it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They moved it back to April 8th.
So
See,
they're already compensating for what's fixing to happen.
what's fixing to happen? See, it's always been, and everybody knows this, the first week in April, maybe, first Monday in April. Well, now all of a sudden, boom, it's the second week in April. Before we know, it's going to be April 22nd before we watch the NCAA championship for basketball. It's just.
Now, what about bowl games? Cotton, orange, rose, sugar.
Mm-mm.
Those games will still be used because that first 5 plays 12.
Yeah.
Okay? That'll the highest ranked team. 5 was Florida State, Georgia.
Florida State.
Or is it Georgia?
No,
It was Georgia.
Georgia was 5. Florida
Georgia's
State
5,
was
Florida State 6. Okay, Georgia played Tulane. I think we said it was 12 last year. It will be played at Georgia because they're ranked higher. 6 plays 11, host number 6. 7 plays 10, 7 host. See, so these playoff games are going to be home games. Okay, so it's better to be at that higher rank. But just because, here's what's going to get weird. This is going to happen. Yeah, I don't think people understand how this. Dude, I had to really dig down and just. It was like doing trig or something. Like I had to go back and look at the formula. So, like I said earlier, and we'll move on. You may have a 7th ranked Texas team that wins the SEC with 2 losses, but because they won the conference, they're the highest ranked for the SEC.
Right.
So they're going to get a bye. So it's not 1 through necessarily 1 through 4 on the AP poll.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see Texas 7. This is all hypothetical. Texas 7, 9, 10, 11, 9 and 2. So they still got, say, 2 more games or 8 and 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But on the bracket over here, they'll be one of the top 4 because they're going to get a bye because they're conference champs. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
One poll is going to have them here. So how can a number 8 team? What if they're an 8th ranked or 9th ranked team? How could they get a bye? Well, because they're the highest ranked conference champ. What if a Big 12 team comes in, Texas Tech wins it, and they've lost 3 games?
Yeah.
But they won their conference.
See, I think I ought to forget all that. I'm telling you, this 16 model.
I tell you what they need to do.
I love the 16
What's
model.
wrong with second place is the first place loser? 1 play 2. Just to give me the 2 best teams and play for it. Let all the other bowl games sort those out. You get a nice pocket watch. You get a nice little. All the players get a nice check.
1 and 2 by the final rankings.
Yeah. Then the other bowl games, all the kids get a nice $50,000 check.
So you're thinking we need to go back to the old days.
Yeah, I mean, well, it ain't fair.
Well, see, if they.
Auburn didn't make it in that. Yeah, I know they got cheated.
Yeah, a lot of that's.
But I think here's why I think it would work now.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot more common sense thinking in some aspects, not all.
Mm-hmm.
We got media. We got people like us that cover this. There's more talk. There's more news. It's not just ESPN.
Oh, no. It's
Fighting
all
for
over
a
the
news
place,
spot. Man. We're not fighting for a spot. Like what Pate said,
Right.
we're not fighting for anybody. We're not competing with any other sports show. You can watch us now or you can watch us tomorrow. If you want to watch Josh Pate come on live here in a few minutes, you can turn us off, go watch him live, and come back and watch the rest of this.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the old Pawpaw's TV. So these teams that are how they're going to be ranked, and now they're going to do 14.
I know. Well, here's what I don't understand.
So it's going to be very different.
If you got an 8-team playoff, you're interfering with 7 different bowl venues. If you got a 16, you're only messing over or interfering with 5. 4-team, you're messing with 3. Why don't we do what we don't want to get rid of all these other bowls and only 2 bowls be the Blue Bonnet? No, I'm good. Blue Bonnet and the dang New York Yankee Bowl up there. Don't nobody want to go. You want to see some kids drop out. You
Right.
wait till you this year.
Well, wait, they're going to have to put contracts on what's going to happen.
I'm talking about with these 12 teams.
I
There
know.
ain't nobody that's 16.
If you opt out, you don't get your NIL money.
No,
That's what's coming. Lane Kiffin's done called it.
he's smart about that stuff. He really is.
He is, dude. He was in the NFL as a kid. He ran around locker rooms with his daddy when they was at the Raiders back in the day. Lane Kiffin's highly intelligent.
I wish they
football.
wouldn't even do the 8. I'm telling you guys,
No, I don't either.
I'm going to be Nostradamus again. Dina-damus.
Dina Thomas.
No 8. I'd say by the time I'm 60, that's 9 years. No, number 8 has ever won this championship.
No.
I'll be close to drawing some kind of check before.
Let's see, five. Okay, I guess now 5's going to play 14. 6 is going to play 11. 7's going to play 10.
Now, 14 can beat 5.
8's going to play 9. So we're going to have 8 and 9, and then 6 and 7. So a number 8 at now, and by how this goes out, what you just said, a number 8 would also be not a home team because they're going to have to travel to the higher ranked
What's
team.
going to have happened? They're going to put so many teams in it. Some of these teams going to have to play 4 or 5 extra games after their regular season.
4 games more to be a champ.
Let's just have a state playoff like Alabama.
So that runs into things like depth. That's what we talked about last week. The teams that's going to win this, and what I mentioned last week about Oregon, and they have the Civil War game early against Oregon State, that's fine.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen when Texas plays A&M the last game of the season?
That could,
Watch that game. Circle it.
there's going to be some upsets there.
October 13th, remember?
Mhm.
Ohio State goes to Oregon. That's right in the nasty part of the season. So that's a talk about the 14-team playoff. It's coming, and we're going to see more. WWE has signed that $5 billion deal to go to Netflix for Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown will move to USA. That's already happening. Peacock, Paramount Plus, Hulu, those brands, Apple TV, are going to pick up on these college games. Don't be surprised, guys. Don't be surprised in 2026 if the national championship game
Mhm.
is not on Netflix, for example. And you better have a paid subscription in the internet to watch it.
Everybody be going to one house.
Well, everybody has Netflix.
But what we're going to have to do is just like have watch parties in a local gym like they do for.
Well, 8 out of 10 people have Netflix anyway.
Well, that's true.
Most people have internet at their house and have Netflix or have it on their phone or something. So that is coming. Don't be surprised. National championship game will be, by that time, I guess it'll be back to New Orleans. Sugar Bowl
Maybe by that
2026.
Yeah.
Netflix special. If you want to watch it, you have to be in there. I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm telling you, guys, this is the new way. You're watching us right here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Who's to say
Well,
it's not a? Who's to say it's not a YouTube special? YouTube TV is huge. You don't think those guys? Google owns YouTube.
Mhm.
Okay, so who's to say they can't go out and buy the national championship? Hey, we'll give you guys $200 million. Split it between the schools. Both winners, $100 million apiece. But we're going to have the game on YouTube. And the marketing can sell
It's
it
a mess, isn't it?
because the watchers, the views that'll be on that game, the eyes they'll have. Dude, how many times, what I tell you, when Vegas, WWE, when The Rock come out and had a press conference in Vegas, 250 million. They had 25,000 people live at one time watching this for a wrestling press conference.
A wrestling press conference.
25,000 just at once. Over the time, they had 250 million
What's the wrestling press conference?
press conference where The Rock slapped Cody
Well,
Rhodes.
they knew that there was going to be some drama because they do. Boxing does that.
Used to.
Do they not do that at
Oh,
all
no.
anymore? What's going
They're
on? That
lost.
sport's died.
Tyson's tried to help it, and he's too smoked out. He's got to quit eating mushrooms, but he's got great ideas how to fix boxing. His name could,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yes, definitely.
don't be surprised.
One of the top 5
2026,
greatest.
write it down. 2026 national championship game on Netflix. I'm telling you, it's coming. There's not going to be no more TV.
That's almost disgusting to me.
Dish Network,
Netflix.
Direct TV, it's over. Who wants to pay $200 a month for TV? Why?
And Netflix does have good documentaries. But come on, the national championship game live on Netflix. That's just weird.
It's going to happen.
Oh, I believe you 100%.
Or Paramount.
I think I would like it better to be on Paramount.
Okay, it'll be on there.
I don't know why. It just sounds weird being on Netflix.
Peacock, Hulu, Apple TV.
I can see that for sure.
It is coming.
Mm.
It's coming.
Oh yeah, tell us about these coaches.
Yes.
We got off on that. That was interesting.
Well,
though.
that's things that are going to happen. And that's 14-team playoff in 2026. They don't have a plan, and they're talking about it. This 12 teams only going to last this season and
One
next.
season.
This year and next. That's all they got.
Is there any chance in this that they just go back to 8?
No,
or
they'll
6?
never go back.
No,
You have opened
so once you've done that,
Pandora's box.
can they keep it at 12?
They may.
Okay, let's just pray and hope they do that.
It's not going to.
13 and 14.
I think they're not going to
I
stop.
would be proud of finishing 13 or 14th in the country, but they don't deserve the shot at this. I'm sorry.
Personally, I think they're not going to stop till 16. I think that's what the ultimate.
Sweet 16.
If they want to do that, let's just vote that in 26 and let's just get it over. Just rip the band. I'm gonna rip the band-aid. Yo, all at once. I'm not the
What
just
one
pull it
place?
off, Mom. God, my hair's get this.
Well, if you do that, you got to limit the season.
Oh yeah, schedule's gonna change.
I mean, you can't play no more than 11 ball games.
Well, it's gonna be August
They're
20th.
going- Yeah, they're going to be kids dying out there on the field.
You're going to August the 20th. You'll kick and you won't finish till
January
January
20th.
the 20th. Bum, 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 bum. Super stupid. Here I am
Oh,
to save the day.
They're going to lose some players over it. I know y'all think that's crazy, but they're going to be somebody like, no, I'll just play baseball or something. Doing that.
Oh, they're going to make their money. They're going to get paid. Baseball don't pay
Well,
that kind
that's
of money.
true.
Kellen DeBoer, this is Alabama coaches, locked in.
Mhm.
Your names. A lot of people don't know who the coaches are at Alabama.
No, I have no
I
idea.
mean, there's a lot of people don't know. And I watch these podcasts every day and I keep up with it. Nick Sheridan's going to be calling your
I have
offense.
no idea who he is.
Jamarcus Shepard is a new guy that they've added.
Okay.
Robert Gillespie.
I've heard of him. Now, he's good.
Yes.
He was there before, right? Wasn't he
Yeah.
the only one he kept?
I think so.
Or one of two?
Chris Kavlicek, Brian Ellis, Christian Robinson, Freddie Roach,
He kept it. Roach and Gillespie.
Marcis Lundquist, Colin Hitchcler, and of course Womack from South Alabama. Now, the Jamarcus Shepard.
Mhm.
Now, this is not Nick Sheridan's your offensive coach. Okay, so main names are
Right.
Nick Sheridan's calling offense. He's come from within.
Mm-hmm.
He is a
His name sounds familiar.
Michigan guy. Okay,
Uh-huh.
the guy. If you watch Crane Company, David, that does the show with him, the tall, skinny guy with the
Yeah,
hair combed
yeah.
back. He played at Michigan under Rodriguez.
Mhm.
He was part of this. So David said he's great. He says Alabama. His wife went to school at Alabama. His wife,
Mhm.
Dave's wife, and his daddy-in-law did too. And they're saying
He's
big sale. Don't freak out, Bama fans. Don't. He's good with the quarterbacks. He knows the plays.
name sounds familiar.
So don't freak out. Now, those are your names for your coaches. And also, with practice kicking off already, we've got some practice kicking off for spring football.
11 coaches.
Difference this year. He's open to the media at Alabama now.
Mhm.
You can come and cover. Nick did like zero.
Really?
Yeah, no way.
Oh, no. I only remember going to the practice down there when he had that one clinic you could go.
So now he's got times, not the whole practice, but he's got windows you can come, set up a camera, and see practice. And then he also has time slots for his coaches. Nick always believed in one voice. One guy's going to come out and talk, and it's going to be him. He'll tell how practice went, and he'll go about his day. He's opened slots for Womack and Sheridan to talk. So, and they've already spoke to the third round podcast guys. That's Dunaway and all them. These used to be News and Birmingham guys. And they've already been on their podcast, and I watched it, and it's very good, interesting. So it's going to be a little more open. And if you're planning on going to A-Day, they said you better get there 3 hours early.
I told you there was no point.
You better be there. They're going to kick at 3.
Mhm. 3 hours early.
You better be on campus at 12 o'clock.
We was rolling up there about 45 minutes or an
Yeah.
hour before it started.
Yeah, we could get there an hour before and have
No,
walk in and sit down,
decent seat.
be decent. So,
And the only reason there was a big crowd there last year is because we new quarterback, because of Milroe
yeah,
Simpson.
people want to see Milroe.
Yeah.
And some of the new guys like Pope and them, which is left, we want to see them. I want to see Jam, which he's left too. We want to see some of them guys.
Jam did?
Roy Dale, sorry.
Okay, yes.
We wanna see Roy
went
Dale
to
play.
Florida State, yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a little different. So
I don't think Roy Dale left by choice.
Change is not bad, Dean.
No, it's
Not
not
always. So let's
always.
don't just.
It's not always.
They're
bad.
picked to be a 9.5 win team. I say they'll win 9 games, and we're going to start doing schedules in the next
Yeah,
couple of
most
weeks.
people are calling
Spring
them.
football's here, so
Well, their schedule's tough.
and we're going to do local schedules too.
Yeah.
Teams around here because they